Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Djuma Game Reserve this afternoon, and an unusual spot for this time of the day in that most often we're sitting here early in the morning, we're waiting for the sun to rise and we're watching the sunrise from here. And I thought we'd start here today, and it's one of those days that I've got a few things to tell you about this view that we have. But my name is Mark, Tara is on camera, and Seb is in final control. Join us for our PM safari this afternoon, and I hope you're going to enjoy the time with us. So what I was saying about this view is that it's not going to look like this in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully it'll be a lot greener, but it's one of the last times in the year when we're able to look out through the bush and be able to see somewhat through it rather than over it, because once everything gets their crown and this all becomes green, we can't see through it anymore, we only see over it. And we're on Zoe's Road. I'm on a mission. Usually when that happens, I'm on two missions today, actually. One of them is to continue a flower mission I started this morning. I can't remember how many we saw. And to continue this afternoon with a few flowers that we may find. Just to see what is happening and what to sort of mark a time, and when we come back after I leave, because this is going to be my last drive until we come back. I'll be on camera on the last day, but my last drive, so I want to enjoy it and have a really good look at Djuma as a whole and where it is in spring, and we'll just see whatever we can come across. But we're going to start in the west so that most of the day we've got the sun behind us. I'm going to try it that way. I don't know, see how that works. That's the best way to see things. But also I want to look for some elephant, special elephant. Oh, sorry, I thought you were looking out there. But anyways, we're looking way out to cheetah cut line. I should have looked at the camera had I known. Monday morning for some, so I guess there's some work, some play and some learning going on today. Interested in the learning part? Any of the learners out there that are joining us? Family of zebra to begin with. It's a hot afternoon, not a cloud in the sky. It's one of those blue sky days. And they're up here. One of the reasons why we're driving up here on Zoe's Road is because it is a hot afternoon, and we're in a sandy soil where there's far less moisture compared to down in the drainage lines and the thicker belts where there's greater access to the groundwater from the trees, and that makes it a little bit easier for them to create their own little climate around them. Up here the wind blows, it's hot, it's dry. Although we're seeing a lot of the same types of trees that are already flowering and in leaf in the low-lying areas, this is the last part of the bush to start greening up. Well, having said that, this pushed over marula tree has got new shoots on it. Plants of the same species give off a specific kind of a gas. It's almost like different animals have different scents and things. Let me move forward a bit. Let's move on. It's looking into the sun now. This herd is trying to find what little shade there is here just to pass the heat of the day away. The mare on our left that looks pretty heavy, and she's got a good lion scar on her rump too. So they're just hanging out in whatever shade is available, and I suppose by being here they've got very little chance of encountering predators who are not likely to be in this hot, drier type of environment. They'd be in the lower lying, wetter, greener, cooler areas. Some of the bush willows are starting to come into flower and leaf. And the transformation, and we're not going to see it now, and it's going to take a few months before the transformation here does take place. So this is not as fast as what's happening on some plants. In a few months' time, once the rains come, this is going to all be green and full of leaf, and it's hard to believe when you're in it and it's dry like this. It's hard to believe how green it can be, and then after a few weeks or a couple of months of driving around the greenery, you can't believe that it can get so dry and it still sustains life. Still a hot time of the day for life to be happening, but we'll still find something. I'm going to start by going to Triple M. I want to see if there's elephants. And we're heading north in this big block. There's a very big block of bush on our left now, just south of us. And I want to see if they've crossed, still heading north. We'll go to Impala Plains and have a look. Word is that there were Karula tracks up and down near the gate. East to west, west to east. A wildebeest. I wonder who he is. Hello zebra. Yes, no, I wasn't talking about you. But they have a wildebeest for company. If I can just get past this little family. I don't think this is Billy, no mate. But this might be a wildebeest that's taken residence here at Impala Plains, and during the heat of the day, of course, not only the wildebeest, the zebra, the impala, a lot of those plains animals seek refuge in the tree line. As I said earlier, that there's less likelihood of predators, but they can still graze, they can still find grasses, and for the impala some browsing, and they are safer in the bush. But when it comes to night time, the open plains, the open areas are their refuge. But I don't see a scar on his rump, so I don't think it's our Billinoma. This is another, probably younger male. He doesn't look as big as the one from the open area near camp. But I'm guessing, not easy to identify a wildebeest. Okay, we're going to probably come back this way, so let's just continue, and we might find them closer to the road, and also it'll have the sun behind us, easier to see them. But now we're just going to see where these big elephants have crossed the road, if they have. If they haven't, then I want to go and talk to them. Cool. White-throated monitor track. Contrary to what I was saying, as would be a zebra standing on the open area in the heat. There's a reason for that. Another zebra family that could be coming out of the background too. Okay, I think we need to get to Treehouse Dam because being the closest water for those elephant bulls. You almost make out the shape of the zebra here, by the way. He's been rolling in the sand. And I can see the head, I can see where the ears were, I can see how he was rubbing his head in several places. I can see the shoulder, the muscle and the front leg, and then it comes around the back legs. You can see the back legs, the knee and the ankle joint. So at the back, in the bottom left of your screen, that curve is where the tail and the rump has been. And you can see the indentation about, see there, I can't reach that back, but yeah, there's where the belly was, and up here where the head is.
And funny enough, where elephants have rolled in the dust, I've been able to see, or even sleep, I've been able to see the same kind of pattern where you can make out almost distinct features of an animal, because the last moment its body touched the ground and it lifted itself up, and that's the impression that is left on the sand. And they're all moving off into the bush. Right, we're going to just go touch on Triple M and drive up that way a little bit. Actually, I don't know, maybe we don't need to. Treehouse Dam might be our best bet up Zoe's Road. Pardon? Is it not off? Yeah. See where the ears of thick sand. So, a button on my toe. Marulas are in full bloom. Now, I can't remember how many flowers I had this morning. I don't know if it was 4, 5 or 6. We had 2 acacias, we had marulas, we had a wisteria, we had a gardenia, we had a the apple leaves only got blossoms. Well, no, not blossoms, they're buds. And some of the wattles are starting to get buds, flower buds. And maybe we'll miss some of their flowering, but I'm hoping that they'll still be in flower when we come back. It sounds pretty quiet on the email front, that's fine. Can't teach you anything more, I guess. Bird ID. Oh wait, there's its mate up ahead of her. That one's far away. Mate is just up ahead in a bush willow.
Was it the one that flew off, or were you going for the other one? No, it wasn't.
Okay, it can't be easy, so we're going to try and get a view. Right. There we go, now we'll get a view. From here. Oh, okay. No, we won't. Yes, we will. We'll follow it. We do. Right there. Because we got a zoom. We don't have to drive close to you. That's the closest we can get, but doesn't matter whether you're colorblind or not, you'll still see the same color. Or for Brent, if you have your TV in black and white or color mode, makes no difference. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. What's next? Marulas in flower. I said that already. Next is the wildebeest and the zebra. From a better angle. Looking back. See, that's why I want to go to the west and drive into the east where we got good light. Okay. Oh. Well, welcome back. We jumped a little bit again. Evidently, according to quite a few of you, there's a very bad lag again, stopping and starting, and I don't know, it seemed to be fixed the other day. It seems to be back to its old tricks again. We will use what we got. We will do with what we have. We will make do. So I guess I won't talk too much, just in case I miss or you missed too much. That's a sticker line. Okay, so two of my birder friends in Netherlands came back with grey hornbill. Thanks Baz, and thank you RC. And Netherlands leading by 1.20 this afternoon. Netherlands 2, Finland 1. Hello Laura. Nice to have you on board, Laura. Buffalo. Heard of buffalo we saw earlier today, and we're fairly close to those elephants. Well, they seem to be here on Zoe's Road. Now the Tsalalas, I believe, thanks to Seb and Shannon and Chitwa. Well, Seb's here, but Shannon sent a message to say that the Tsalalas have just killed a buffalo at Chitwa on the dam wall, below the dam wall. So the Tsalalas aren't coming here while we're still here. We're not gonna. We might see a Matimba or two. Buffalo all heading into really thick bush. They might also head to, because if they cut through here where they're going now, they could cut through to Treehouse Dam by late afternoon. You see any elephant tracks yet? Oh, I haven't looked. Flies and buffaloes go together. I need a guarri branch. Tickling my nose. Sure. Oh, Sarah, New York Sarah, saying grey hornbill. Okay. Do we count New York as one country, or do we count New York as USA? Sarah. If that's Sarah, New York. Right. I think our best bet is to go to a dam. A dam like Treehouse Dam. Via a guarri bush somewhere. It just tickles. For me, it's like the most ticklish thing. Like the likes of a fly in the corner of my eye, or on my nose, or around my nose, on my face, or even hair around my face. Even though I've got long hair tickling. When the wind blows and my hair tickles my face, drives me crazy. I can have spiders and any other insect walking on my face. It's fine. There's a different feel to it. I've played with insects all my life. I can even tell what different insects are just by the feel of how they walk on my skin. Bird party. Oh, there's a woodpecker in the marula tree. I never get it. We didn't manage to do a good woodpecker quiz the other day. And that's a female. It'll be hard. Can you see her? Sitting in a really beautiful spot, and as soon as the camera goes on her, she gets shy. Right. Diagnostics. There is a red crown. Is that a brown forehead or a black forehead? Black with white spots. Is there a line through the eye? Is that a spotted belly? It's a grey spot, buff spotted. It's striped back or spotted back. I can hear the mate actually. I can hear its mate somewhere too. Gosh, guys. What? You're falling off? Yeah. It is rather a weird angle that Tara was filming at. I just want to confirm before I make a guess, because I don't want to make the wrong guess. Rollers, hornbills. Okay, I've given it away. It is a woodpecker, but the thing is, because woodpeckers are kind of difficult. I thought it was a female. It's not. It's actually a male. So, my book open. Let's move on. Afternoon station is getting mobile.
Afternoon, come on.
Okay, copy. Let me know if you find any dorm cones or from those big Madoras that we have. Come on, Zoe is heading south. I left them here and they were heading up that way, so they could have crossed Triple M. They haven't crossed Zoe's road, so who knows. I took a couple of photographs. There was one exceptionally huge bull that had a collar, but he also had a very distinct nick out of his left ear. His tusk was kind of a very wide sweep to his tusk. And he was with another bull that we've seen before also, who at first I thought it looked strange that he had such a short and fat tusk, when in fact the tusk had broken in such a way that it had split almost lengthways. So from the left hand side looking at his tusk, they were actually standing here. They'd just broken off this big, actually, I thought it was Tambuti, it's Jackalberry. Eating all the new Jackalberry leaves. What was it? No, it was Jackalberry. But from the one side it looked like a perfect tusk that was very thick, but from the right hand side, when you saw the inside of the tusk, you could see the chip, that the crack that had been, or the break. It was so distinct. So I guess that's not going to be tracks here. Some elephant. Not the big one. Smaller bulls. But I didn't manage to get onto the elephant website to see who he was. Oh, there's a big raptor. Just flown into... Well, it's a big accipiter. It's not a big raptor, because a big raptor would be an eagle. Could be a... I don't even want to guess just yet. Can you see it, Tara? It's in that marula tree, but it's towards the back of the crown. And I don't want it to fly.
I'm still not seeing where you're seeing.
Okay.
How far back?
That marula tree, there's a... through there. I'm hoping that you
Oh, there.
can see it just through that gap. Bunch of birds shouting at us. From this distance we're not going to see much, but it's probably a lizard buzzard. Is that a white? Yeah, there we go. Got a white bar on the end of the tail, just before the end of the tail. It's not a terminal white bar, it's a white band just before the end of the tail. And there's some long-tailed shrikes shouting at it. Pardon? What, the hornbill? Oh yes, okay, sorry. Completely forgot. The bird quiz. Okay. RC in the Netherlands with Cardinal. Laura saying bearded. Who else was saying Cardinal? K. Cardinal. Well, Cardinal it was a male cardinal. This is a lizard buzzard because the lizard buzzard's got that white band just before the end of the tail. It's just the way that the lizard buzzard actually lands in a tree. Also a bunch of magpie shrikes shouting at it. Okay, let's move on. It's very far to see a bird of that stature. And we might see one again one of these days. One thing about a cardinal, well, the combination of things that I'll... we're back. Elephant tracks heading to the dam. Younger bulls, not the big bull, but could be. Big bull went that way too. But it is time of the day to go to see elephants at the dam. I'm sure we'll find them. I hope we will. But I don't have picture. Have you got picture? We'll do the birds in a bit. As I said, from Zoe's Road. Welcome back. We're now reaching more of the herd of buffalo that have stretched from Zoe's Road probably. And we might see some of them at the dam. Well, they might be heading that way. Come, little one, catch up to your mama. None of that playful exuberance we've seen in the past. It's a hot afternoon. They're slowly going to water. Mom doesn't look like she's enjoying things at the moment. She's a little bit gaunt in the hips, a little bit sunken. Looks like she's an old lady. These are both her calves. One from 2 years ago. This one from last 3 months. She's not a youngster. There's some Inyari on Zoe's Road near Philemon's cut line, but there's most of the Shlumbies now on Philemon's cut line, Scarborough Junction. Huge group of bucks. Look at them, lots of them all spread out. Top of the termite mound. Don't know if we'll get to see that, they're quite deep in. Hello, buffalo. Huge. Some of them are really big. They might be heading back from the dam already. Looks like they're coming this way. Carol, hello, and I think that's the question, I'm not sure, but Carol's asking a question about the migrants, the bird migrants that migrate in two springs. In European spring, here they come for our spring and then they go back to Europe for that spring. And Carol is asking, do they have two mating seasons? Do they mate in that spring and this spring? Generally no. Generally they mate in one country and they go on holiday in the other country. So you have breeding migrants and non-breeding migrants. But then I suppose, actually I don't know, I'm sure there might be birds that do have the capacity to be able to mate in both springs. Tell me, do the European swallows mate? Or do they mate here? No, I'm confused.
They breed over in the UK and Europe.
Oh, that's right, they don't build nests here. No. But generally I don't know if there are any exceptions. Can you think of any, Tara, of birds that breed there and here? So for whatever bird it is that comes from your part of the world, that comes to Africa, if they breed in your part of the world, then they're just coming to visit Africa and holiday. They would be the non-breeding migrants. And we even have birds that come in from other parts of Africa that breed here or don't breed here. Actually, most of them breed here. I'd have to go through the list in my head and try and think of some that do and some that don't. But the European birds, pretty easy. Things like the European rollers, they don't breed here. European swallows.
White storks.
The white storks don't breed here, they don't make nests.
Steppe eagles.
The steppe eagles, the steppe buzzards. A lot of maybe the waders. Okay, let's go to the dam. MJ, is there a good South African bird book that I could recommend? Well, I think a lot of it boils down to choice, but yes, there's several. And there are different books. So you've got to look at the difference between a book that is a very good and an informative book, or whether you're looking at a book that you want purely as a field guide. Now here's an interesting bird on the ground, and this is a challenge for RC bears if they're going to come out of the grass edge. They will if I go forward a little bit. I don't know if did you manage to get one? Let's just see if it'll
Oh,
fit.
here it comes. It's going to come back out.
Might come back out onto the road if I go a bit closer. They come out onto the road for safety, just so that they can see.
Oh, too close.
And the second one?
Oh, I didn't see the second one. That's the second one.
Oh, tripping over grass. Now it's easier for me to see them. Let me see if we can go to the side a little bit, and we can get a better angle at them. But it's really, these are difficult ones. There, in this road and in the sun. Much easier. Just caught an insect. What was that? Did you hear that? No.
Where's the other one?
So I didn't get to see my monitor. Did you get to see that bird nicely?
I just want to try and get the one that crossed the road. Where is it gone?
Were you on the one that crossed the road?
No, I was on the one on the other side.
You
There
didn't
he is.
see the
Yeah,
one
no,
that
no, it's coming out.
coming
There
back?
he is. It's quite a nice view of it now. Can you roll forward a little bit?
LBJ to most people. Little brown job. In some ways you've got to use different features to try and identify it. Quite a streaky head. Sure, I'm glad it wasn't me you just hit. Very streaky head.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the book. Because I thought it was one of two. Yeah, it is the one that I thought it was. Okay.
Whoa.
Which one you on? This one in the sun?
The one behind your steering wheel now.
Yeah.
There he is.
Okay.
Mind your hat? Mind your hat?
Speaking of hats. On my hat. Joanne, let me know if you're watching. Jam, Joanne. Okay, time to go to the dam. You can see this. We don't want to give too much of a view, and it gets too easy to ID. I'll give you a clue. It's not Richards. Hello, Steenbokkie. Goodbye, Steenboggie. Hyena tracks. Zebra, impala, buffalo up ahead. This is a huge herd. Gee, they kind of stretch from Zoe's Road to here, and probably all the way down to the dam. Even more of these bovids. Feed a pride a lion for an entire lifetime. Speaking of which, I'm thinking we might have some cats on our part of the world. Hello everybody. Should I say hello? Hello. Please excuse me. I'm making my way to the water. We are now in the midst of several hundred buffalo, known to be one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. Yet I'm calmly making my... Don't look at me like that. Drooling dribble. Oh, here's a cow with a calf. She might get upset. Protective over her little one, hiding behind the bush willow. Shall we chance it? Shall we sneak a little bit closer? She chooses. Excuse me, Madam Buffalo. And little baby buffalo. Now, despite their reputation, hello Mrs. Buffalo, when they're in a herd like this, they're actually wonderful animals. And you see a lot of tenderness. Now they're all eating. There's no interaction at all. Interaction will come after they've been spending the whole day taking in grasses to fill their stomachs so that they can chew the cud, lie down and chew the cud later. Well, some of them have already begun to lie down and chew the cud already. Sorry, Mrs. B, but that's not really a nice place to sit. She's an old girl. She's a really old girl. Stop that for a minute. Two of them wanting to stay in the same place. So they're having a little mini horn fight on the side there because they're right in each other's space. So in a herd like this, they are I wouldn't say docile. They know that we're not a threat to them. They know that we're not going to try and chase them or eat them, so they don't have to become defensive. But at the same time, they know that we don't chase them, and so they don't have to run away from us. Some of them, sometimes we get a herd of buffalo in here that are not as accustomed to the vehicles, and they tend to move away. But this is clearly a herd that has been around a while. This old cow in the middle of the road's been lying in the mud. You can see the mud caking on her hair, on her coat. We've seen as well how in some of the bulls it looks like there are parasites that get into the keratin of the horns, and if they don't look after them by rubbing them on bark and rubbing them in the mud, those parasites can become overwhelming. Now I would imagine that this is something that has maybe happened to this buffalo, that somehow there's been something that's been eating into her horn, and it's actually maybe, I don't know, it looks pretty gruesome. It might be because it is, but there's some sort of necrosis happening there, and whether that is caused by some sort of larval parasite or a bacterium, hard to tell. Could be TB even. Okay, we can't really go anywhere unless we go another way. Or I could gently encourage her to stand up and move, which she will do anyway, because the rest of the herd's moving on, and they don't want to be left behind. They'll get up shortly. They also were probably in the shade earlier. Oh, that must be so. That would just get to me. An oxpecker picking right in the corner of my eye. I think what that oxpecker was doing was saying, "Come on, little boy, get up, move on. It's time to move on and catch up with the rest of the crew." Not sandgrass, not cisticola. Okay. 2 answers that have come in for the brown bird on the ground. Sandgrass is big and round like a pigeon, and much bigger than that. That's a very small bird. It's only about actually not sure. 12 centimeters, not even. We need to move. We need to... No, that's just... Okay, ground scraper thrush is fairly close. A bit small for a thrush. Come children, you're going to move on anyway, because the rest of the herd's moved and you've got to go and catch up with them. Aramark Babylon, see the way her horn is, that's how she'll eventually, that will break off and she'll become a one-horned cow. Whatever it is that's eating into her horn is eating into her bone too. And it smells. Sorry, little boy. Okay. Well, I know I can depend on the birders in the Netherlands for the right answer. What's the score? Netherlands 3, Finland 1. Bushveld pipit. It's actually not a very common bird out here, but it's widespread. You don't see it. I suppose they call it uncommon because there are a couple of other pipits. P-I-P-I-T, pipit. They kind of related to the lark. Passerines. But you're more likely to get maybe Richards or the, I don't know. Thinking if we even get the grassland pipit here. See now, it's taken so long to get to the dam, the elephants have gone already. If they were ever here in the first place. With all these buffalo about. Oh, there's a saddlebill stork. Been a while since we've had such a magnificent bird. Of course now I've given it away and we can't have it as a bird quiz. But that's just because I got excited about seeing it. Now, when we get to see it from this, we'll try not to disturb it. I don't want it to fly. Oh, there are those arum lily type flowers. But the flowers aren't out yet. Sattelstoff. We'll go down on this end and we'll try and zoom in on it. I don't want to go too close, it might fly. Normally in a pair, pardon? We'll be able to ask viewers if it's male or female.
I think The guys said, okay, well, no, we just started going in and that's so true, but I work around there already, and I gave up because of the dollar and someone else. Maybe go back there again. Thanks, man. I'll check this car out, so I'll check it out. Yeah, thanks.
I'm not copying you too well, Seb. Radio's not too good down here. Andrew, come in. Very sensitive bull that it. Did it? No, I didn't catch anything. But also a very opportunistic feeder. By just walking around, maybe chasing things with its feet and stabbing with its beak at the same time, it can pick up minute variations in underwater currents that may be caused by a frog's legs kicking or a fish swimming. Andrew? Hi, Andrew, which Ingala have you got? Okay, thanks. On that Nyari Bamba. Okay, thanks. Let's move a little bit. Seb's trying to get hold of me. And also the stalk is moved. Hello, hippo. Okay, this bird is about as rare as rare birds get in this part of the world, and quite an endangered species too. Habitat loss. The Ramsar Convention did help with the wetlands a little bit, but there's still a fight between man and nature, and a fight for land. Farming areas that have taken over natural habitat. A very striking bird, and a very tall bird too. I mean, that beak is probably about 12 inches long. Also, actually being here gives us an opportunity to see where the dam is, at what level it is, and when we look at the top end of the dam, where the mud wallow is, where these buffalo have been, it's sort of in line with the second knobthorn. We'll see how it shrinks in 2 weeks' time. It's always amazing when I go on leave and I come back after 2 weeks and there are big changes taking place. often we don't see the changes on a day-to-day basis, and it takes going away and coming back after a period of time to actually really see much of a change. So I think I got there with the bushveld pipit earlier. Thanks RC in the Netherlands. Cardinal woodpecker before then, the grey hornbill before then.
It wasn't a cardinal.
Wasn't a cardinal.
It wasn't. No, the male's got the green at the front and the red at the back. This one had red at the front and black at the back, didn't it?
No, this one had it had a beige front. It had
Did it?
that the barring on the back and the spotted in the front.
Okay.
I don't know. We can see screen caps. Whenever there's a dispute between us guides, we turn it over to screen caps.
Where's the bearded again? Oh, not the
Bearded
the
is here.
Bennets.
Bennett.
Bennets is outside.
There's the Bennett. Oh, quite clearly, Seb.
I must have seen the black run way around then.
Jack was asking him. Okay, well RC got it right. It's actually quite easy with the saddlebull stalks. The female that has the yellow eye, the yellow ring around the eye. And that's quite visible in this, especially in this light. You can see that yellow saddle, but both animals have that. The male has a little bit of a yellow wattle underneath the chin, but it's her yellow eye that gives her away. Netherlands leading the race, well, the birding quiz this afternoon. That's just an impromptu birding quiz. Okay, time to move. It's time to move. Bye bye, Mr. Hippopotamus. Able? Boy. Saddlebill stalk. Okay, there's Nkulu Hlambi and Yati, also Spam Road and okay. Wow. But you want a photo? That's beautiful actually. Light and the reflection. What you shouting at? Go away bird. It's not quite shouting go away, but that's the sound for an eagle kind of shouting, not a ground predator. Okay, look this way, Boyd. This one's for wirecast. Oh, look, that kudu bull coming. We don't have to go anywhere.
We just need to roll forward a bit.
Okay, but he's coming. That's quite amazing. I should have got that. Oh man, I don't know why I wasn't even thinking. I could have got that kudu behind the saddlebull stalk. We could still even. No. There'll be another bull coming out. Oh, he's magnificent. Just wandered out of the woodwork. I did kind of get a shot of him and his kudu friend. I mean her. Except the setting was wrong on my camera because I was rushing. Sometimes there are other kudu bulls with, well, there's more than one sometimes. Be nice if another big boy comes. Funny, he just walked along the water and walked away, didn't drink. I remember at home, in fact it was not my last leave, the leave before. I was at a little dam that I sit at often, and I had a pair of them, and I thought I'd get some footage of them, because I had a video camera with me. I thought I'd get some footage of them walking and hunting and interacting, and they both, it must have been an hour they sat there preening, and I think I've got an hour of saddlebull stalks preening. Same size little dam, it's a little dam, and I go and sit at the dam wall, and hopefully we'll be there by the end of the week. Okay, let's see what else the afternoon has in store for us. Cool. Made a lunge for something but missed. Now there's the shot. Actually, I mean there, now we're about to go. Stalk concentrates on something that saw in the water, and suddenly the it's like it's posing for every shot that Tara's taking. Shutter clicks, it moves its head. Okay. This time we're going. Flowers to find, animals to be animated by. could sit and watch that stalk. Look at it, even from here. Beautiful light. Beautiful reflection. Hello Donna in New York, and hello to New York. Donna, we're just going on leave for 2 weeks. We work 6 weeks and we take 2 weeks off. I know it kind of sounds like I'm going away forever, but it's always like it when I leave here and things are happening and I'm in two minds. Oh, there's a bluebeam. That's another flower we've got to find this afternoon. That one's not quite in flower yet. But I've got to find that crimson flower this afternoon. Donna, we will be back in middle of October. 12th or the 13th of October we'll be back. We will put up posts. There'll be a bumper marula crop there this year. Can't believe how many flowers there are in the marula trees. So we are going to be back in 2 weeks. More buffalo. Just in case we haven't seen a buffalo. Some more buffalo. Probably the Duggar boys. And then Donna was asking, wild dogs. She believes that they're endangered because of a disease, and what can we do about saving them from the disease? Donna, the disease that wild dogs are suffering from is the same disease that rhino and tigers and a lot of endangered animals are suffering from, and that disease is human destruction of habitat and human destruction of the species. They're endangered because they roam far and wide, they don't understand human boundaries, and they come into conflict with humans on a very large scale. They do pick up diseases. They pick up domestic dog diseases when they get close to humans and their domestic animals. That can wipe out a pack. But the misunderstanding, that people have a huge misunderstanding of wild dogs. Some of the rural areas where wild dog might still roam freely outside of national parks. Oh, fly, stop teasing me. Just recently there was a farmer that wiped out an entire pack because he thought that they were vermin. Still, in this day and age, you still get uneducated farmers. It's hard to believe, but they're there. Farmers that will kill vultures because they think they eat their lambs or kill their lambs when they're incapable of doing so. Hello, Mr. Kudibul. Young Kudibul in the drainage line. Okay. Been in full, well, not full bloom, but then we get to see one more flower for the day. Let's see if I can find a few more, and maybe, if need be, recap on some of the ones we saw this morning. But I was trying to put a bouquet together, a screenshot bouquet of different flowers, as a buy you in 2 weeks time kind of gift to the ladies and some of the guys, I suppose, that enjoy them for their botanical value. Can't get close to it. If we go, maybe Tara or Seb will have a look at this tree from the Twin Dams Road in the morning, but we won't see it from Twin Dams Road. It'll be looking into the sun, so we're just looking at it now from a distance. That lovely crimson color. That should be full of sunbirds at the moment, or still to come. First come the flowers, then come the nectar. Those are mostly flower buds. They haven't started opening yet. I hope we don't miss the show. I hope that it's still showing when we come back in 2 weeks' time. But there are a number of big, this is called Scotia. There are a number of big Scotias and their dwarf varieties that will be flowering too soon. And they're not necessarily all coming into bloom right now. Some will only be starting in a week or two. Generally, the plants try to do all the same thing at the same time. It behooves them. It is far more beneficial to have every one of the same species in flower at the same time. And that's to capitalize on all the pollinators. And then, of course, to fruit at the same time, because that's to capitalize on the animals that want to eat your fruit. And you encase your seed in juicy fruit so that animals eat it and carry it away, because you don't really want your offspring, your own seed, to fall below the tree and compete with you for your own nutrients. So the old adage that an apple never falls far from the tree is true. However, they're normally things that will pick up the apple and carry it away, so that the seed can grow elsewhere, and use that metaphorically as you wish. The apple may fall beneath the tree, but the seed is carried further to develop into its own tree. Twin Dams has a herd of impala. Oh, there's a battalion drinking. Got a red back. I don't know if we can try and get a bit closer now that it's drinking. Let's just try and move in a bit. A remarkable bird. I mean, there's two birds with incredible colors in two different dams. It's quite amazing. I think that should give us nice height and slightly better view of this. Strangely enough, you get two different varieties of wolf, color morphs, not varieties. It's like you get two different color of Wahlberg's eagles, and we have both colors here, both color morphs, both color phases. Battalier 2, you get a red back form and a white back form. That red, what would we call it? Back triangle. Another battalier flying in the distance. Standing, I would say probably about well over 18 inches, maybe close to 2 feet. Seb, have you received an email from Joanne yet? Is Joanne with us this afternoon? Joanne Jam. Just to say that she's watching. I just want to know if Joanne's watching. Maybe in chat. Some eagles take a long time to drink. And I'm guessing that this is the battalier from Leadwood Road, from the Leadwood Road nest. So, like the saddlebill stork, since you know what bird it is, and since there is sexual dimorphism in the species, which is not very common amongst eagles, who can tell me, who can beat the Netherlands to an answer? Is this a male, or is this a female? questions@juma.com for your answer. Maybe one day we'll get an email that says answers@juma.com and separate them from the questions. Oh, I see an interesting bird just landed at the water. Just behind the wood sandpiper. Very interesting bird. I'm going to hear him calling one of these days. Ah, okay. Joanne, personal message. This is a PM. Open a new window. Just to say thank you. There's a package that arrived for me and was picked up at the post office from the Hattery in Australia.
Tell me about that little bird.
No, that's a three-banded plover.
Yeah, that's not the one you're talking
To the right of that there's a bird drinking. That's not a wader. Oh, no, not that one. I was looking at the other 3-banded. Where are you?
Directly opposite.
Okay.
Where are you see? Oh, the two waders on the opposite side.
Yeah, and then go to the right of them.
There they are.
Yeah, okay, those are those 2 waders. Those are also 3-banded. No, that's wood sandpiper. No, it's not a wood. It's bigger than that little
Green
3.
shank.
Could be the green shank. Oh, it's just flown away. I was trying to get you to it. It was a greater honey guide drinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be nice to see.
But now I was hoping to get there before these, because the waders will be there. 3-banded. Okay. Onward ho. Where should we go? Still drinking. So thanks, Joanne. Gosh, that was an overwhelming gift. And one that I don't know if we'll see on drive very much on account of it being, I guess, it'll be the one for weddings and things. I'm going to shul, and when I go out to dinner, I used to only have one hat that was getting older and older and older, and I couldn't really wear it to smart occasions, but I did anyway. My bush hat, the one that I wear sometimes on camera, the one that's got a big sweat stain on the front. And then Uncle Rob in Perth sent me his old hat. Now the one that my old one, it's got a Thunderbird on the front on a bandana that was given to me by a friend of mine, Terry, in Florida, back in the early 90s in Okavango Delta. Actually reconnected with Terry a little while ago on Facebook. But that bandana has been with me through many hats. I've actually lost hats, and strangely enough the bandana wasn't on the hat at the time that I lost the hat. So it's survived more hats than it's been than any other bandana. So then there was the other hat, was a cattleman. The hat that I had, that old one was a Snowy River. Then these are just different designs of the Kubra hats that I really love these hats. I'm a hat person. I live in a hat. I have to also because of my skin and the sun, and I live in the sun. And then I forget that they're on during the day. Anyways, and then Greg, through Paula, sent me this Snowy River. And this Snowy River has been out with me because I've wanted to look smart on drives, so I've kept this for drives. And it's now become my sort of more presentable daytime hat. When I'm not working in front of the camera, I use my old hats. If it's raining, I use my Uncle Rob's hat. But I now have the dinnerware hat, the one that goes with the tux, the one that goes with the when I rent one. As I say, the weddings, the dates, well, it'll be hard. It depends on what I wear, because it's a lovely dark chocolate brown, and I've actually got a dark chocolate brown leather jacket, and I've got another dark brown suede, mock suede jacket. So Joanne, remember that, I guess I shall always remember you through this hat, like I remember Greg remember Christine for my original Snowy River. Christine in Austria, who went to Australia and brought it back for me just after I got back to East Africa after my transplant. Batelier has been listening to my story too. Now she's drinking again. Okay. That one will show up the dust so much, and it's really not the kind of outdoor hat. So it's definitely going to be a smart wear. I can go and I know what to go and buy in terms of clothing. I don't get hats to match my clothes, I get clothes to match my hats. I think we'll do Leadwood Road. Can you see it from here?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on the other side. Of course the light isn't as great, but we get to see it just before we go. And she's still there. Thanks RC and K. RC and in the Netherlands and K in the US of A. I think, is it K? K Sim? K. Dave, that must be Dave. Benoni Dave. Saying that it's a female, and we can tell it's a female because if you look at her primaries or her lower wing feathers, how pale they're white. The bottom part of her wing is white, the male it's black. But it's just, I guess, strange in that once again this is a bird, the second remarkable bird we're looking at today in a row, that has a very striking face, and both male and female have these colorings, and there's subtle differences that tell them apart. Not as distinct as so many other birds where males can be brightly colored and females are drab. And there's actually a hippo in this water. I just saw a nostril pop up. Did you see a hippo at all? Have you seen a hippo while we've been sitting here? Well, then it's a Loch Twin Dams monster. But I just saw two nostrils pop out. Must be fast asleep. Okay. Look at that beautiful bird. Oh, lots of people. Yeah, give me a few more names. Lots of people saying female. I thought there was only 3 birders or 4 birders today. Let's... Sorry? Oui, s'il vous plaît. Donna. Dave Hill, Jumbo Buena. Heather, Alaska Heather. Valentine. Is that Scotland Valentine? Okay, I'm just guessing. Maybe they're different heather. Oh no. Maybe it's Heather, Mrs. Bullheather in the UK. There's the herd of impala that were at the dam when we first got there. Getting some of the green grasses coming through in this little valley. Hello children. Hello. Anybody home? Mr. Marla. Mr. Impala Marla. Bye, children. I think all the animals heard we're going on leave, so they've left also. They've gone on leave too. I mean, we can forget about seeing the chilalas in the next 2 days. But of course, you'll get a chance to see them on the Djuma Waterhole Cam while we were away. In fact, it'd be nice if, you know, Sharon used to give me a list of all the animals that used to be seen when we were away on leave. It was nice. But that was the that we had. Our drives continuing, so I would go on leave, and then of course it was easy to keep track of what was seen on our drives. Now it's just going to be a matter of if zoomies. I wonder, do we have like a central database of where zoomies log what animals have been at the waterhole? And that was Yambilu Yodana last night. No doubt about it in my mind. Oh, there's the male. There's the male. I didn't see him. Sure. Male Bateleur was in this tree. Just away. I missed him. I wouldn't be surprised if he can see the dam from up there and he can watch his female drinking. Looking over her. Protecting her. Be a nice thought, wouldn't it? They do have such strong bonds. They like crunch. She's gone. Signal. Welcome back again, everyone. I don't know why we're losing signal here. For whatever reason. Not good. Okay, we gotta go. No signal. Yes, thanks. So, welcome back. Signal issues. I just came down to the southern end of Cheetah Cut Line just to have a look. is this beautiful little open area and a little ridge that doesn't allow us to see it when we come up from Leadwood Road. You don't really get that on the map. As we get onto Cheetah Cut Line from Leadwood Road, there's a little ridge to the south, and just below that, before you get to Gowrie Main, is a little open area where there's sometimes game. There's a herd of impala in the bush here, but they're quite deep in. Oh, hello. Cuckoo. Wiederhop. And another Wiederhop of a different kind. Green Woodaboo and African Hupu. But they flew away. This one is actually better. Hello, Miss Mac. Thanks for for letting us know. Miss Mac and her class will be with us tomorrow. It's Grandparents' Day, Tara.
Oh,
Tara
yes.
will be on drive tomorrow and be Grandparents' Day. So far 23 reservations for grandparents to join the class, and of course they'll probably be watching, which is great. Tara will be on drive to answer all those questions. I will be in FC to send them to Tara. Roger saying, carry on with the birds. You don't get the screenshots. Well, we're doing birds because not much happening on Western Gowrie today. Also, my last couple of drives have been really in one place and staying with an animal for a long period of time, and it has, if anything, it hasn't allowed me to get an idea of what's growing and what's going on in the rest of the world around us. And my drive this afternoon was more about just having a look at the area and what's growing, what we might see, what we might miss. I wanted to get a lot of flowers, but obviously morning is a great time for flowers. Now coming into evening again. But I've been doing roads that I didn't do this morning to some degree, looking for something different. We're going to go back towards Buffelshoek Dam and back to the north because, well, there were lion tracks and there were leopard tracks up that way that we didn't finish following. You're welcome to use one for iris kind of stuff. Sorry, we just talking about radio
I was
channel.
going to use the other so I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, I know, but then I couldn't hear whether we were back or not. But yeah, by all means, this channel seems clearer all of a sudden. Okay. Sounds good. So if Seb needs you, he'll get you on one.
Yeah.
Hello Marla, Impala, Marla. Goodbye mongoose. Sure.
Wind's got nippy.
Pardon?
That wind has got nippy.
Coming from the north, it is a bit of a berg wind. I'm feeling it quite... You got your jacket. Changed my mind. Why? Because I can. No special reason. Tara said she was getting cold with the wind coming down to the cut line. So we will go elsewhere. I'll start thinking of sunset too, maybe soon. This morning. I thought we'd go past the sausage tree, but we didn't, and I specially brought the old sausage to show you. And we'll have a look at it when we stop for the sunset. I'll just look at it briefly. Some of you who've been following the progress, and unfortunately I wasn't driving on the weekend. I should have done it on the weekend.
5 from Convan, south of Cruise Camp, slowly heading towards the camp.
And just to show some of you who've been following the development of the sausage tree but haven't really seen its fruit yet. And this is a fruit that I've got from last year's season's crop. Excuse me, Shivam Balana. Thank you. Again. Hello, Drongo. Question from the Netherlands. Come, little dove. There we go. Flying to a tree. RC is asking what the differences are between the Sabi Sand and the Timber Vati. Differences in habitat, differences in what way? Differences in habitat perhaps, in that, well, the southern bit of the Timber Vati is very much like here and Manuleti. There are places that look almost identical to this, and it's not that far north of here. It's the same type of bushveld, it's the same type of soils. In some parts up there we start getting a much redder soil, slightly higher iron content, which of course with the oxidizing makes it that reddish color. And further up in the north where my place is, where I go home, is a dominant tree species. It's the southern limit of what we call the Mapani Belt, and that stretches way up into Zambia and north. Doesn't quite get to, I think it might stop in Malawi. It doesn't quite get to Tanzania, the Mapani. Mapani is a type of tree that grows quite prolifically, and it is aided by the elephants that perhaps farm it in ways that is quite uncanny, but it's a very dominant tree species in patches. And that of course does have some bearing on the rest of the bush. Still dominant marula and knobthorn bush, or rather woodland, combretum woodland like this, the bush willow. And this is mostly bush willow, but there too, but maybe we don't get, we don't get the large fruited bush willow, which is the dominant tree species here. I would say that the large fruited bush willow replaces the Mapani in this part of the world, as perhaps the round-leaf teak replaces it when further down south in the Sabi sand. Because even the southern part of the Sabi sand is different to this northern part of the Sabi sand. Different type of habitat. So you've got the Sand River and the Sabi River, and there's an area between the two that is very rich in fauna and flora. Manyaleti, going up north into Buffelshoek, a lot more open grassland areas that are the home of cheetah, and well, it's where the white rhino spend a lot of time, I suppose. Grassland animals, a lot of waterbuck. And north of the Timbavati you get Olifants in the Olifants River Valley, and that's a lot more dense, it's a lot more lush. One of these days I'll get to see it a little bit better, but it's quite a big river, the Olifants River. Quite a major river. No real surprise that I live close to the Olifants River. Wish I could see the Olifants River, but there are about 5 kilometers of Kruger National Park between my house and the river. Seen Ellie's this afternoon. Marilyn. Oh, Teddy. No, Marilyn, California. We haven't been to the den to see Teddy. Abel was at the den earlier. There was nothing happening at the den, but maybe it was when we were with the saddle-bull stork at the dam. It might have still been a bit too hot. And now, well, we're just very far away. Some buffalo. That must have been at the dam, Buffalo's Dam today. Buffalo that are possibly lion food tonight, if there are 3 of the Matimbas around that we think. I'm sure that's Seesaw. It looks so much like him. I'm sure this is also the group that the judge used to hang out with. Oh, now he's moving away. Oh well. His left horn dips down, quite different to his right. A couple of big bulls still coming across the road now.
A ver, mira.
Isn't it funny how since we haven't been able to show rhino on camera, we haven't really been bumping into any?
I did hear about the crash the other day. They all seem to be doing well.
They've just been found on elsewhere. Hello, Davina in Illinois. Asking about the sausage fruit. We're not going to have much of a sunset. We're going to be here at the dam, and we'll get it through the trees maybe, but there's nothing in the sky to reflect it. It's really lovely big orange ball that we might see through that gap. We'll see in a minute. But before we go to the sun, Tara, just quickly to answer Davina's question, is the sausage tree fruit edible or not? But here, you can just have a look at this. Is desiccated now, it's dried, it's lost all its moisture. This is a third of the size that it was when it was fresh, when it was still full of the fruit pulp itself, when it had just fallen from the tree. This is the bruise where it hit the ground, and it has now dried and died. And I cut it open just after it dried. You can see it's wrinkled because it was much bigger than this. So looking at it inside, you can see it. I mean, I can try and pull it apart, but it's very, very fibrous. And amongst all these fibers here, you can see is a seed. And these seeds have got, oops, I just dropped it. There's another seed. These seeds get the larva of a moth that burrow into them when they're fresh. And they're actually here, just on the tip of my finger now, is a pupa, a hatched pupa of a moth. Oh, I just dropped that too. But it's extremely fibrous. I mean, when this is full of flesh, you physically can't bite into it. The fruit pulp in between all this fiber might be edible. It's not poisonous, let's put it that way, but it's just not palatable, and it's just physically not possible for a human to chew this fruit. I don't know what it tastes like. I've never tasted it. I know that the extracts from the fruit the green fruits are being turned into cosmetics and being used in skincare. I should actually look into getting some. I'm highly susceptible to skin cancer with all my drugs. Heather will know that too. Or maybe she's not on the same drugs. Amazing things happening with transplants these days. I know of somebody who doesn't even have medicine. They had stem cell infusions before, and that means that they don't have to take medicine. Still, I'm grateful. I'm here. That's what counts. I've seen another day. I'm seeing another sunset in Africa. For me, I'm grateful for just being here today. Grateful for all of you out there and for having this opportunity to share my passion and my life in the bush. Now, I'm going to go over to the other side of the dam, and I want to we'll wait till the sun goes down. I think it'll still be a bit early in the evening if there's lion anywhere near here for them to roar. I think they might only start calling once night falls. I wonder why the hippos are bunched up this end of the dam. I wonder if it has anything to do with cats. Okay, let's go on to the other side of the dam. I want to take a closer look at some of those lion tracks that were there that I didn't see this morning. Can't really tell the buffalo tracks. Franklin noises. Franklin's going to bed. We could try Nyala Road north. I think I'm just going to put on a jersey quickly off camera. I keep thinking I'm hearing a lion. Maybe because I want to. Grey heron coming into line. I wonder, did a heron just leave Gari Dam maybe and come here? Oh well, I don't know where these boys are. Another big boy that was walking around today we can try and find signs of. I'm sure he's going to be coming this way too. Wouldn't be surprised if find his tracks coming to the dam tomorrow. Mr. Jordan, the leopard.
Captain coming.
Bro, the road's been dragged today. Fresh tire tracks. Been a couple of cars here, but this road's been freshly cleaned. Recently cleaned. Excuse me, Franklin. We didn't get to see many more flowers this afternoon. I'll have to try when I'm on camera if I see any. Some of the trees. Down somewhere here. We don't see the last tracks. I think the last tracks I saw were here somewhere. I think there were no tracks here, so the tracks were still west of here. Now, so he did come this way, and he must have gone into his drainage line. Whoa! Nearly did a Tara there.
We did do a tower though.
Oh, I did do a Tara there.
I don't know what way the car went either.
Nearly gave you a couple. Andrew, come in.
Come on.
I don't know if you know, but this morning I had Ingram Konzo on levels of cut line heading east. I just picked up his tracks again on the fire break where you saw me now. Yeah, affirmative. See if I can see where he crossed Gary cut line.
They coming there, coming close to the
No. That was Mkonzo that I found this morning. He was at the dam at about, he was at the dam during the night. He was seen on the camera as Jordan. And then I had his tracks going up on Bubu Road and then at Tambuti Dam. The last tracks I've got now is here on Gary Katlan Junction.
Okay, so thanks so much. I'm gonna...
Okay. Yeah. Okay, copy. Yeah, I'll just pick up his tracks again now, Gary Katlan heading south.
I'll get an update when
Okay, copy. So, these tracks are on top. I don't know if anybody did this road this morning, but these tracks are the freshest tracks. No tire tracks on top of this Leopard's tracks. And, well, this is one of his favorite drainage lines. Did we come here this morning, Tara? Do you know?
Huh?
Did we drive here?
Not that I remember, we went down that way. We went all the way down to the second line. Down.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
He must have
road.
cut through. He must have cut through that corner and come onto this road, because I did stop and look for his tracks at that junction. I didn't see anything. I should have just carried on down the road a little bit. Who knows? He could have been walking on this road this morning. I'll just check, see if his tracks are still here. Gravel. Much gravel. Maybe not sand. No, he must have gone down the bottom into the drainage line. Well, we could go and have a look. We could go and have a look. Go and check on Central Road. It can be a little frustrating at times, knowing that there's a cat somewhere but not being able to get to it, or not being able to find it. Well, this is a fairly large area where this leopard would be. If he's going to start moving, something's bound to make an alarm call. Now is the time too that he would maybe start moving. Maybe. You can never tell with a cat. Got it. one thing for sure, it'll get me very interesting to find out where these lion come out tomorrow morning. Who knows? It's okay. I was going to say, who knows, there might be some interesting tracks tomorrow for the second last of your Who Done It and track quiz with Tara. I assume you're still doing another 2 tomorrow?
Yep.
Yep. And we got beeping inverters. Okay, that question said? Brit. Okay, repeat the names of what? Sorry, they're breaking up. Oh, the thirsty bird. Ah, okay. The big one. Eagle or the stork. The eagle. Brit was short-tailed snake eagle, also known as a bateleur. B-A-T-E-L-E-U-R. Bateleur. I just on Nyala Road North for a little bit. I think I tried this for the lion this morning, but I do have to say goodbye. It's showing a red light. Well, its input is very low, but I haven't heard it again now. Oh, there, it's just beeped. Beep 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 beep. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna be sad leaving you for 2 weeks. It's not like we've done it before, because before I always knew you were in the good hands of the others that were still here when I went on leave. This time, well, we're going to miss us. We're going to miss you. You still see Tara and Sept tomorrow and Wednesday. And we go on leave from Thursday. So my last night tonight. And I guess there's a lot on my mind. So from me, my name is Mark, from Tara at the back there, and Seb in final control. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock Central African time for Tara and Seb out in the vehicle. And I'll be here in this seat in 2.5 weeks' time, around about the 13th or so of October. Jade's birthday, day after Cheryl's. Bye-bye, everybody.